end this quickly.
Twice.
Double kill.
Another for the pyre.
Rise, comrade.
Tread lightly. Spike here.
Let's end this quickly.
Who's up next? Enemy down.
Double kill.
Join your friends in the afterlife.
Triple kill. You are the avatar of death.
Another for the pyre.
You have a job to do.
You tried.
I won't forget this.
Let's end this quickly.
Enemy down. I'm bringing you back. Enemy down.
Double kill.
Another for the
Are the avatar of death.
Let's end this quickly.
powerful foe.
Of course it's down.
Double kill.
Another foe face.
You are the avatar of death. Double kill.
Another for the
A
fight.
cry of terror rings out.
The day will soon be out.
Magic itself. Who's up next?
Moments away from victory.
Slain
That's
immortal.
right.
Take this.
And the flame.
The immortals have favored us this day.
Double kill.
If you
Triple kill. You are the avatar of death.
If you follow current events, you may have heard of Neuralink, one of Elon Musk's projects. Depending on your politics, you may react to this video based on your feelings about Elon. But set that aside, as that will just be a distraction. Neuralink just announced a few days ago that it is now authorized by the FDA to do human trials. In case you don't understand what this Neuralink is, the core product as it stands today is chip implantation in your brain, presumably to help people with some neurological failure like spinal cord issues, for example, paraplegics and quadriplegics. I'll explain what Neuralink will actually do at least today, but spoiler alert, Neuralink was imagined by Musk to have something to do with AI. If you take this at face value, it seems mildly interesting. But when you actually dig deep down into what I think Elon envisions, then we're going into a very deep rabbit hole. And we have just heard the first shots across the bow about a future you will likely be super worried about. It's a very serious warning. If you want to find out what this warning is, stay right there. Neuralink sounds really benign when you hear about it. It's all about doing good with medical devices. The idea of planting a chip in the brain is not actually new. Currently, there are already around a dozen people or so with implanted electrodes in the brain using a device called the Utah array. Basically, it's a grid of electrodes that are pushed down into brain tissue, and then this is hooked on to an external device plugged in outside the person's head. And that's used to listen to electrical impulses in the brain, and this is sent to a computer for interpretation. The general name for this kind of connection is a BCI, or brain to computer interface. Obviously, the Utah array is pretty invasive, and the only subjects who have volunteered for this are quadriplegics. Inserting this device in the brain does cause some loss of a small amount of brain matter, and scarring does occur, so the procedure needs to be repeated every few years. Using this technology, you can see examples on the internet where the Utah array has been used to enable some sort of speech direct from the brain to the computer. There it appears that thoughts are being transferred. Neuralink is a huge enhancement to the Utah array, as explained by Musk, because instead of pushing large electrode pins into the brain, Neuralink uses much finer thread-like wires. There's a lot more wires to capture more data, and they envision more wires in the future to increase the bandwidth. These wires are attached by a robot very accurately, and because they don't actually cause bleeding, it is thought that body rejection would be less of an issue. Now, they've attached Neuralink to a lot of animals at this point, so this is beyond theory. And as I said, human implantation has now been approved by the FDA. Once embedded in your skull underneath your hair, the idea is that there would be no trace of it. No one would know you had a Neuralink surgically installed. Sounds like some sci-fi movies, right? The unit is charged by induction, just like your phone, supposedly every night. And then using Bluetooth Low Energy or BLE, it communicates with your external device. Right now, the current version talks to an app on your phone. Just to show how this can be a commonplace tool, Elon demonstrated several pigs. He showed one with a Neuralink implant and one with the Neuralink implant removed. The pig with the removed Neuralink appeared to behave
Let's try something new. Let's try something new. Should have thought twice. Let's try something new. Enemy down.
Shut down.
Try.
Double kill.
What did you
Triple
think?
kill. You are the avatar of death.
The enemy's
Let's
work
end
is
this
halfway
quick.
done.
This isn't good.
The trial you are part of it. My duty is clear.
The enemy has made it halfway.
You are judged.
Enemy down. to me. Let's end this quickly. Should have thought twice.
The flame.
Keep fighting.
Let's end this quickly. Should have thought twice.
Double kill.
Join your friends in the afterlife.
Double kill.
Twice.
Push back on the enemy.
I am hope. You are pardon.
You are the avatar of death.
I am soul.
A cry of terror rings out.
And the flame.
Try.
And the flame.
We have lost the battle, but not the war.
A true test of my skills.
You tried.
Shut down. Double kill.
What did you think would happen?
Triple kill.
Normally, this was shown to eliminate the fear for mass adoption because, in essence, it was important for us to prove that it is not a dangerous device, since implantation is reversible. Since brain signals are merely electrical signals, the tech can be used to bypass the spinal cord. Let's say in case of a spinal cord failure, brain signals could be sent to the rest of the body by repeating the same electrical signals via some sort of single shunt past the failure point. He then listed a bunch of diseases that could be helped by a Neuralink solution. Musk then went on to explain how Neuralink is actually a device with read-write capability. And this is the part that is least discussed. Neuralink can write data to the brain as well as read data. For example, with one of the Neuralink neurosurgeons at his side, he stated that it would be possible to download memories from the brain and upload it to your brain at a later time, or even transfer it to a robot. This is now getting closer to what he originally imagined Neuralink to do. Basically, this idea of saving humanity by helping people with neurological issues is just a profit center, a way to monetize this technology early on. But the more enhanced future is what Musk is expecting. Well, what is he expecting? The basic concept he had for the neural lace was for an AI to be integrated to his brain. So basically, your normal intelligence would be enhanced by the AI. The AI could dump knowledge content from an external source to your brain. We all know how AI is used today. AI is being used to solve problems. You can, for example, have the AI construct ideas for you. Students are getting good at cheating their teachers by having the AI write their term papers. AI is making complete YouTube videos.
Joining you.
The AI can even do programming. Just present the problem, specify the programming language, and it will write the code for you. This can be used in so many industries now to supplant the human. But if you're equipped with direct communications with the AI via a neural lace, then you would have this gigabit speed of intelligence provided by a supplementary AI. Apparently, Elon foresees a world of super intelligent humans, all provided with a supporting computer at all times, without using any visible user interface. Now, why do you think he imagined this? What Elon envisions, to start with, and it's actually happening today,
Let's try
is the
something new.
concept of AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. In these early stages of AI, the computer is fed information and then it learns patterns on its own to the point that it begins to emulate the source information. For example, instead of telling a computer how to drive a car by a large number of programmed if-else statements, the computer just watches what a human would do and basically copies that. The problem that I've understood for a long time is that this method of learning really has no limits, and humans really have little understanding of what the computer can do. I've made past videos explaining how AI actually thinks, and it is not, as I said, programmed by a human in our classical understanding of programming. The computer makes its analysis and arrives at its own set of rules. These internal rules stored in its neurons can get so massive that we don't really know what the computer has learned. The risk is reaching the stage called AGI, where the AI basically is intelligent on its own. A Google scientist at Google DeepMind, Jeffrey Hinton, quit Google so he can focus on warning us about AI. He and others like Elon Musk have signed the warning message in the Future of Life open letter, which talks about the fact that the AI could be an existential threat. Pretty much at the level of a nuclear catastrophe. To remind you of a recent event, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was briefly fired by the board of directors because of some rumored discovery in the AI that brought fear to them. That's swept under the rug now, and we don't know what this discovery is that caused such a major move as firing their current leader. Now, what exactly is the big picture concern with AI? Well, the problem is that the AI will continue to learn beyond what its creators teach it. It will get to the point of self-learning, and though this was thought of as a possibility in the 2030s to the 2040s, evidence of this is showing up today. Apparently, GPT-4 can currently beat 90% of the human test takers of the Uniform Bar exam. And in case you think this is solely about knowledge, the bar exam is mostly a test of reasoning. Google's AlphaZero AI apparently learned to beat every human in chess in just 9 hours of learning. Self-learning. This is what happens when the AI reaches this AGI level. Again, artificial general intelligence. This AI will then quickly get to the point that it will be smarter than a human. And then that would evolve to be smarter than humanity. AI don't need to sleep. Now, the scariest part is that the AI could give itself its own goals. Goals not provided by its creator. This is not hyperbole, by the way. That's the problem with those that open Pandora's box. No one is caring. Not dissimilar to the many dangers I talk about regarding technology. Only the short-term benefits are examined, and no one thinks about the long term. And there's no big move to set limits on the AI. Stop it before you can no longer stop it. The long term does not look too far from the Terminator movie. Actually, I will tell you how it will differ, and it will be a little different because of Neuralink. As you all know, robots are being built today, and some like the Tesla robot moves like a human. Or you've seen videos of the Boston Dynamic robots that can make acrobatic moves. As much as this can be mildly interesting today, the main problem is when the AI can begin controlling things in the physical world, rather than just in the virtual world. For example, there's been this push towards autonomous weapons. And without humans in the middle, the AI could control objects and equipment. I've said this before. In fact, it was in my last video. An AI can develop its own goals, and it would have at its disposal the data of all of humankind with all the history to date. It would show the inherent flaws of humanity with the never-ending attempts at gaining an upper hand over other humans, or the advantage of power. It would show the vulnerability of humans to control messaging from dictators of the past that enforce thoughts on the populace, to today's version of subtle social media amplification, de-amplification, and censorship. Basically, mind control. The AI would know how to use all these tools, and that it would be able to interact with the physical world and take over. Again, just like the Terminator movie. What's coming, folks, is an AI-initiated war against humans. And we can't stop ourselves from causing this.
You tried.
Just like we can't stop ourselves from using technology, even when it eliminates our privacy completely in today's world. This future would be a terrible thing to behold because AI would be unbeatable. No human would have the capability to think of all the possibilities like a machine. We would be at a huge disadvantage. And we would be like John Connor in the movie, trying to fight the AI with puny little guns while we are bombarded with laser-equipped drones guided by the machine. But Elon Musk's version of the Terminator movie is a little different. You see, he realizes that a war is coming, an AI war, and the only way to fight the AI is with another AI. I admit it took me a while to understand his motives here. The New World Order isn't a single AI, but multiple AIs, each one representing some dominant group. Currently, this is OpenAI, XAI from Elon, and Google DeepMind. I'm sure China is developing its own AI among other countries. Think about this. It could be a war not just between an AI and humans, but between multiple AIs. But Elon is thinking differently here. The idea is that humans cannot be powerless against an AI if the AI is interacting with the human directly. In other words, Elon wants to create a bunch of superhumans. By the way, this need not actually be human since he can upload his memories to multiple androids, and they can then replicate his vision as his human soldiers in the AI war. Wow, this is pretty crazy, right? Here we are barreling non-stop through new technologies, and no average person actually stops to think where we are going. Today I'm warning you about technologies that invade your privacy, but in the next generation, some new Rob Braxton would be warning you about technologies that will physically invade your life. Knowing what's coming, I'm now not sure how to look at Neuralink. Is this some privacy invasion of our brain by an external AI? Or could it be the only thing that stands between us and extinction? Elon Musk is thinking ahead apparently. Maybe a Martian colony is needed to get away from it all. The real answer, even applying this to current technology, is knowing when to stop. Privacy is a major tool we have to fight against.
The enemy has surrendered. Victory is ours.
Didn't think I could pull that off, did you?
Paragon slain. You are the avatar of death. Double kill.
Join your friend. Hush here, joining us. Who's up next? Let's try something new. Of course it's down to me. Let's end this quickly. shot twice.
I am magic itself. No escape.
Double kill.
Die so easily.
Triple kill.
They just die
You
so
are the
easily.
avatar of death. Quadra kill.
Here I go.
A cry
killing
of
again.
terror rings out.
Let's end this quickly. Enemy down. Better find some cover. Let's end this quickly.
Can anybody hear me?
Better find some cover. Let's end this quickly.
The enemy has made
This
it
isn't
halfway.
good. You tried. Let's end this quickly.
Smoke, ready and waiting. Stand aside.
Hey, to play doctor.
I am reborn.
Halfway to victory. We've completed half of our goals.
I defy you. I defy you.
The trial commences.
There is no room for doubt. I defy you. I defy you. Stand aside. Stand aside.
mortals watch over us. I am all that remains.
A disappointing loss. I should have planned for this.
You have impressed us, mortals. Return.
Double kill.
The control of the machine, but it will not come to you automatically. Unfortunately, we have to work at it, and that's why I started a company to help the average person do this more easily. The main threat currently is the Google ID, which is on your phone. There are hidden communications between the common phones and big tech, which reveal device identifiers and locations that point to you. The solution to that is to have a de-Google phone, which prevents the machine from attributing your data to you, thus making you disappear. We sell various models of de-Google phones in our store. These phones are around $400, so they are cheaper than normal phones. We have the Bytes VPN service, which I started a few years ago. The purpose of a VPN service is to hide your IP address. Secondarily, it provides encryption to hide your traffic from anyone listening. This protects against man-in-the-middle attacks, especially caused by governments and corporations. Our VPN service is unique because it includes ad blocking via a Pi-hole server, which also serves to anonymize your DNS. We have worldwide coverage, and it's provided by an entity known to you, me, hopefully someone you can trust. We have a Braxmail service that hides identity information from your email.
So I don't know if you know, but Building 7 was the third building that fell on 9/11. So there was the Twin Towers that they say 2 planes brought them down. And there was another building that a plane didn't hit, but it fell into its own footprint. Let me show you how it happened. So
For the third time today.
And watch this.
It's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
And there it is. And that's Dan Rather, literally as it's
joining up.
Smoke. Ready. Waiting.
You tried.
Double kill.
Join your friends in the afterlife.
Triple kill. You are the avatar of death.
Another for the pyre. You tried.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Another for the
A
pyre.
cry of terror rings out.
Let's try something new.
This need to be.
Let's end this quickly.
I am magic itself. No survivors.
Ally of double kill. Triple kill.
They just died.
Quadra kill.
They just
You
died
are the
so
avatar of death. Terrifying.
You dare
A
doubt?
cry of terror rings out.
Let's try something
Halfway
new.
to victory.
Enemy down.
The enemy is halfway to victory. Moments away from
Enemy down.
victory.
Double kill.
Another
You
for the
are the
pyre.
avatar of death.
Should have thought twice.
We are victorious.
do that. Leave no survivors.
Ally avenged. Double kill. Triple kill.
They just die so easily.
Quadra kill.
You dare doubt me?
You are the avatar of death. Terrifying.
They just die so easily. Leave no survivors.
Ally avenged. Double kill. Triple kill.
They just die so easily.
Quadra kill.
You dare doubt me?
You are the avatar of death. Terrifying.
They just die so easily. Oh yeah, I taught them how to do that.
We are victorious!
as it's coming down, falling into its own footprint, he goes, well, those buildings look like like when we see a building demolished on television, like it's coming down. I wonder why it looked like that. You know why? Because it was.
Wait,
Okay.
Charlie Sheen,
Hey,
when he
guys.
said "looks to me," he was the same as Dan Rather. Charlie Sheen saying that.
Yes. Here we go.
Did they actually use the word brought down, and who was it that was telling you this?
The fire department. The fire
This
department.
is
and,
there it is.
they
These
did
are all
use the word,
different
"We're gonna have
angles.
to bring
You see all
we're
the
gonna have to bring it
explosions?
down."
So those are all different angles of Building 7 coming down. Here's another one.
Ripping through the building and the windows all busted out.
Now the interesting thing, here's another version. Here's another angle. Now if you think that building fell into its own footprint because a plane hit another building, I've got a vaccine I'd like to sell you. So I just wanted to show you, this was predicted. So BBC, 20 minutes before that building fell, the BBC did this. Now this is the only video I could get of it. I'm going to apologize for these graphics being there, but the BBC predicted they were broadcasting in real time, and they said that Building 7 had already fallen. They called it the Solomon Building because it was owned by this guy Solomon. So let's watch this.
Was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing, and indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were, and it seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attack. We'll probably find out more now about that from our correspondent Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building?
Now when they throw it to her, Building 7, the Solomon Brothers building, is still standing over her shoulder, and they're talking as if it had already fallen. So let's watch.
Behind that, there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline, a symbol of the financial prosperity of this city, but completely disappeared now, and New York is still unable to take on board what has happened to them today.
Presumably there were very few.
So that was the BBC, and in real time on television, telling you that the Building 7 had already fallen when it hadn't fallen yet.
They didn't know what it was.
So
they didn't know what it was because they're from England, right?
So right. So watch this. So now, this is from Alaska. This is a news report debunking that.
Well, it's been a point of controversy now for more than a decade. A researcher now from the University of Alaska Fairbanks is weighing in.
World Trade Center Building 7 was not struck by a plane, but did collapse hours after the Twin Towers. Well, now, Dr. Leroy Halsey, a civil engineering professor at UAF, he led a 4-year study which reevaluates whether Building 7's collapse could have been caused by fire, as was determined by the National Institute for Standards and Technology in 2008. Halsey says his findings were a resounding no, and his simulations paint a different picture than the federal agencies.
So we virtually simulated the building, and we looked at that analysis, and we also virtually simulated what they did. We couldn't get it to do what they were at. They did.
A group called Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth paid for the study. The organization is petitioning Congress to call for a new investigation into the World Trade Center destruction. A spokesperson for the organization says one of its supporters approached Dr. Halsey about the research, partly because of UAF's reputation.
When we started talking to Dr. Halsey, it became very clear that the engineering program at University of Alaska Fairbanks was very strong. And Dr. Halsey was the chair of the department, and he had a lot of experience in modeling structures and doing forensic investigations, and so we thought it was a perfect opportunity for us to move forward.
The study is now open for a 2-month public comment.
So how bad is a job has the establishment been doing? They've done so bad that even normies are looking into what really happened with Building 7. Every major narrative of the United States government is collapsing like Building 7. And let me bring on Dr. Leroy Halsey. He is a professor emeritus of structural engineering at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, who has investigated the failure of the World Trade 7 building, Center Trade 7 building, the third building to collapse on September 11th, 2001. A recent study from Dr. Halsey and his colleagues from the University of Alaska Fairbanks challenges the official explanation for World Trade Center 7's collapse. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So now, so you have impeccable reputation. The people who are interested in this came to you. Did you have your own, just watching it on 9/11, did you have any doubt that it was happening the way that the establishment and the news was telling us it was happening?
To be honest with you, I didn't even know a Building 7 had collapsed.
Oh, really?
Really.
Okay.
I did not know that. You know, and particularly when they started telling me about this building, I said, you know, I don't think I'm going to do this. So then they came back to me again, and I said, I don't think I'm going to do this. And then on the third time, I said, okay, I'll put together a proposal. I decided, okay, I'm old enough that if they take me out, no big deal. So anyway, I said, okay, and I put together a proposal, and they accepted that proposal to do the work through the University of Alaska Fairbanks as a research project. So through that process, and I went and I got it funded. Then I looked at the normal way of doing things and looking for students to work with me. And I had a lot of undergraduate students that really, really were excited about it. But when they took it to their families, they decided they better not. They were a little worried. So then I ended up with 2 PhD students, both from China. And they worked with me. And they both are now teaching it in China. So
go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So I just wanted, so here is Building 7. And it's, as they said on the BBC, it's a few hundred yards away from the World Trade Center 1 and World Trade Center 2. So the idea that somehow an explosion happening over here a few hundred yards away would somehow make that building fall into its own footprint is suspect, to say the least. Now, is there anything you want to say about this slide before I go to the next one?
Well, I wanted to first of all share with people exactly where Building 7 was with respect to WTC 1 and WTC 2, and this picture illustrates it in a not necessarily in a dimensional sort of way, but a visual sort of way, to give a person an understanding of look at this building's only 47 stories tall, and that's tall, quite frankly. 2 million square feet per floor.
Wow, it's a big building.
A big building. So in reality, what I told the AE 9/11 Truth, who was funding this, I said, I'll do the investigation, but I will not promise that I'll tell you what caused it. I will tell you what didn't cause it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I did not want to. Here's the bottom line. There was no way I was going to get involved in any politics. This was going to be pure science all the way.
Okay.
And every day that we did a study, I asked my students, I hope you didn't read anything about this, because we're not going to be we're not going to let anything that's being published affect the science that we're doing.
Okay. So should I move on to the next slide?
Yes.
So here it says this is the World Trade Center, different elevation views. There's the 45th floor, the 19th, 16th, and 13th floor. And so what do you want to tell people about this slide?
Well, first of all, 45 is about where we saw that there wasn't any, you'll see here later that they're talking about the penthouse, which is on top of the building. And it came down before the rest of the building. And what we spent a long time trying to determine what was going on with that penthouse, because it had so much interaction for a lot of people as to what went on there, and a lot of people thought it was connected, I guess, to building to column 79, which was down below. And in actuality, that penthouse collapsed before, which means that there was not any fire that impacted that penthouse. Okay, so then one has to ask themselves, what created that problem? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so when you look at the video of Building 7 collapse, it collapses at the top first, not at the bottom first. And you're
Correct.
saying there was no fire up on the 45th floor?
No.
Okay.
So, you know, that opens up a whole series of questions, does it not?
Yes.
You know, at the end of the beginning. So anyway, I'm done with this. I just wanted to show, and also at 19, 16, and 13, or 15. What is it?
19, 16, and 13.
Yeah. So we did a lot of work on floor 13 because this did. And so then the question is where did all this start to occur that we see in these videos? Okay, so now I can go on. I'm trying to give people a bit of an understanding.
Right.
There's a lot of people that ask, what was in that building? Well, this slide shows us by floor by floor.
So on the top, it was mechanical floors that I guess it's the workings for the building. Then Solomon Smith Barney was on 28 to 25. Then there was Standard Chartered Bank. Then there was the IRS, Department of Defense, and Central Intelligence Agency on floor 25, 24. And on 23 was the Office of Emergency Management. On 22 was the Federal Home Loan Bank of New York. On the 21st was the First State Management Group. From 19 to 21 was ITT Hartford Insurance Group. On floor 19 was the National Association of Rabzi Commission. I don't know what that's a Securities Valuation Office. 18 was the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Floors 14 through 17 were vacant. But on 11 through 13 was the Security and Exchange Commission and the Provident Financial Management. And then just below that was the U.S. Secret. Service, and then the American Express Bank. And now what is the significance of that is highlighted here in yellow? What is highlighted is the Security and Exchange Commission and the Provident Financial Management. What is the significance of that?
Because there was a fire there.
Oh, that's where the fire was.
So why not ask yourself, okay,
Hush here, joining up. Let's try something new. Let's end this quickly. Let's end this quickly. Who's up next? Who's up next? Who's up next? good. Let's try something new. Should have thought twice. I'm not finished yet. Who's up next? You tried. Better find some cover.
The trial commences. A retreat.
Double kill. Triple kill. Shut down. You are the avatar of death.
Let's try something new.
We're halfway to victory.
Let's try something new.
The enemy is halfway to victory. The enemy has the upper hand.
Let's try something new. That was rough. I've returned from the flames.
Magic.
Who's up next? Let's try something new. Let's try something new. You tried. Let's end this quickly.